Hello, we're here in Prescott's Flint Park. Really quite a beautiful day, blue skies, light breeze through the pine trees. Beautiful day, but we're here to talk with Judy Stahl. Judy, you've lived in Prescott since 1992.
Yes.
You've lived a full life, put two kids through Prescott Public Schools, had small business, involved in healthcare, really involved in a lot of different aspects of the community, which then brings up the question, what has motivated you at this time to put yourself forward as a candidate for the Arizona House of Representatives for District 1? What's motivated you?
Well, thank you so much for having me be here and
Sure.
and allowing me to present myself and my positions. You know, I think it is because I raised my children here, and because, in fact, I used to live right near here. My daughter was born at home up at our house on Idlewild Road up near Thumb Butte.
Wow, okay.
And I brought my children to this very park to play when they were little. So for me, it's about future generations. And I want my children to know that the community where they were born and raised is a loving community, is a caring community. And in recent years, I've been very concerned about what I've been seeing going on in our political system, and really the divisiveness that seemed to come about here after President Obama was elected. Just a lot of policies put forth by people who were elected decision makers that I completely disagreed with. And the fact is, my children are now grown. My daughter is 25 years old, so it's been a while, quarter century since we were, doing that. My son is 32, but I would love for them to feel that they could raise their children here and have it be a place that truly is loving and caring about everyone, regardless of skin color, religion, socioeconomic background, all of that. For me, it just created a fire in me. And because my kids are raised and I'm in a position where I have that time to go out and be a strong voice, I'm happy to be able to do so and to speak on behalf of those who might not otherwise have a voice.
Okay, and so that gets into the next question, but could you give some specific reasons why you feel somebody should vote for you on election day?
Yes, thank you. I think that you should vote for me on election day because I am a strong voice. I am fair-minded. I care about people, and I'm pretty smart. You know, I've been around, and as we mentioned before we started the interview, I was able to be a sports massage therapist at the Olympic Games in Athens in 2004, and I'd also been a sports massage therapist in Salt Lake City in 2002. And one of the reasons why in Athens I was sent to a venue where I was the only, first of all, I was the only massage therapist. I was the only American amidst a bunch of Greeks on the medical team and all of the other athletes from all over the world, because they knew that I knew how to interact with people in ways that would not offend people, where I could be a good ambassador for my country and for my profession. And I feel that I was able to be that for my community and my state as well. I care, and I'm strong, and I will stand up for those who have not really had a voice around here. I'm chomping at the bit to be elected to represent those of us who don't feel that our values have been represented fully for decades. I do want to say that I am the only Democrat running. Even though there are 2 seats that are going to be elected for the Arizona State House, I ask you to please vote for me and only me. It's perfectly legal to do so. That is how I will win one of the seats, because we're going to get one of my Republican opponents will be elected. I don't know which one, but one of them will. So let's bring some balance to this district and represent those who feel that they've not had a voice.
Now, it should be obvious in this pandemic that jobs are very important to regular people. So could you make some comments on your thoughts, your vision on jobs in the future for Yavapai County, for Prescott?
Sure, and for all of LD1, which of course includes northern Maricopa, my district does. So, first and foremost, I care about public health. I've been working in healthcare since 1978. I am a breast cancer survivor. I worked for 5 years with pediatric oncology patients. And I know that it's the things that you cannot see that can make you sick and can kill you. And with what's going on all the way to the top right now, with the confusion about how this virus is passed, we need to listen to the scientists, we need to listen to the healthcare professionals, the experts who have done the research and know what we need to do to protect public health. So public health comes first. Then, once we have addressed the virus in a coherent, unified, transparent, and honest way, then we can move forward with looking into how can we open our economy, how can we really get back to full education, and how can we get back to social engagement without having to be 6 feet apart from each other and worried about just being around each other. So in terms of jobs, our district is a rural district, and jobs are extremely important. We don't have all of the jobs that you might have in Phoenix or in larger cities. However, one good thing that is coming out of this pandemic is the recognition that a lot of people can work virtually. Not everyone, but a lot of people can. And if we had the broadband access throughout our district in the rural areas to allow people to work from home, then we could really improve the economic possibilities for people in communities like Yarnell, Ash Fork, New River, where it's quite rural. So we need to bring in green jobs into our community. We need to bring in jobs that are going to support our children being able to come back here after they've gone away to school and raise their families here. And I would like to see the kind of jobs that we bring to this district to be green jobs in solar energy, in wind energy, in recycling, and also in healthcare. I've been working in healthcare for a long time, and this is a place where people come to heal. It's beautiful here. You can feel it in the air. People want to be here. People retire here. So let's bring in great jobs in the healthcare area, not just for our seniors who ought to be able to get a lot of their health care through telemedicine, right? They don't have to have all the specialists living here all the time, but we want to make sure that we've got the health care that they need, including alternative health care or complementary and integrative health care, which I've been involved in. So these kinds of upbeat things, as well as our tourism industry, and making sure that the arts and theater and performance can be brought here to this beautiful place. That's what I see for our district.
Okay, great. Now, in addition to jobs, for a lot of other people, two big issues in this area are water and growth. Any comments?
Yes. So, having lived here for 28 years, more than 28 years, I'm not a, local. My children are, but I'm not as local as some people who have lived here longer. But in the 70s, this town, Prescott, was about 7,000 people. It's the crown jewel of Arizona, and this area is growing and has been growing rapidly. In 1994, the city of Prescott was named the #1 place to retire in Money magazine. And a lot of people really started pouring in very quickly, maybe to escape some of the problems they had elsewhere, but that is not the case now. We do have those problems here as well, and the only way that we can handle them is by working together, making sure that we're communicating. So when I am elected to the Arizona State House for Legislative District 1, I will be extremely supportive of making sure that the growth that we have here in our district is managed growth, to make sure that we require those who move here, bring their businesses here, want to do large developments here, that they are responsible for making sure that our water resources are protected, that that's part of the contract for them to be able to come into our communities, and then to make sure that the people who come here, the businesses and people who move here, understand that they're moving into the desert. We may have beautiful pine trees here, but it is still the desert. This is not like it is back east. And we have the last perennial river in our district, the Verde River. The headwaters of the Verde River are in our district. And we have organizations such as the Citizens Water Advocacy Group who are checking to see what is going on with the water levels in the Verde. And it is going down. We are not maintaining what we need to provide safe yield by 2025, which is in the plan that came out in 1980 for the state. So there must be lots of communication and a willingness to take a stand and put some teeth into the regulation so that people can't just do what they want without being concerned about their neighbors and our future. Water is a primary issue for me, and I will bring the requirements and the needs of our rural district to the legislature when I get there to protect our water while managing the growth that is inevitable here.
Okay, so just to go back again to health care, and you would be working at a state level. What in your mind do you envision that you could help accomplish on the, there are levels.
There are levels.
County, local, federal, but what can you accomplish on a state level to help address the pandemic and any future health issues that pop up?
Thank you for the question. The Affordable Care Act is a federal plan, so I don't have control over that at the state level. But one thing that we can do is we can make sure that any funds that are available at the federal level that can come to Arizona to help us with healthcare, that we vote for that and that we make sure that we urge that with our elected leaders. When I think of the pandemic, I like to think about what happened in New Zealand with Jacinda Ardern, their prime minister, who said, we're going to hit it hard and we're going to hit it early, is what she said. And she was transparent with the people who she was representing and is representing. And they went along with her. They cooperated because they knew that she was telling them the truth. We haven't gotten the truth from our leadership right from the top to the governor, who has mishandled this pandemic, so that we can't operate. Whereas if we had done what we needed to do and paid attention to the experts in healthcare and then implement it throughout our healthcare system in the state, at the state level, at the county level, at the local level, that is something that you can do at the state legislature. That is something that the governor should have done, and that I will be a strong voice for when I get there, to make sure that whatever funds we can get, we bring in. And also, just absolutely committed to making sure that everyone has access to health care. So whatever I can do when I get there to make sure that we move Arizona forward in making sure that everyone has health insurance. We have the access system right now, and we did expand Medicaid when that was a good decision that Governor Jan Brewer made, and we just need to make sure that we continue to provide for the least among us. When we end up having health care available to everyone, it is going to relieve so much stress. There will be so much less money that has to be paid for people showing up at the ER because they didn't have insurance, and now they have to show up at the ER and then they're not able to pay. We end up paying that in our taxes anyway. So let's hit it hard and hit it early on the front end and make sure that we are providing preventative health care and coordinating throughout the state to make sure that everyone has access to affordable health care. I've got a strong voice, and it's absolutely one of my top 3 issues that I will use to be persuasive with my fellow legislators when elected.
Okay, now we're going to totally jump to a different subject that also is important to a lot of people in Yavapai County: gun ownership. What comments do you have?
The Second Amendment is settled law. So, just like Roe v. Wade is settled law, the Second Amendment is settled law. I absolutely believe that it is appropriate to, I support responsible gun ownership, And all of the responsible gun owners who I know have no problem with making sure that everybody has background checks when they purchase a gun. And in Arizona, we are consistently in the top 10 states where women die from domestic violence with guns. I think we were number 7 or 8 last year, but for many years we've been in the top 10. So we need to address what is going on that is allowing people who should not have access to guns to have them, and that does mean red flag laws. I will be very careful in how I approach that because I will listen to all sides. But when it comes down to it, we need to make sure that people are protected and that our children can go to school safely. And so responsible gun ownership, I support.
Okay, great. So are there any other questions or points you want to bring up?
Well, I know that we hadn't really talked about immigration, and I know that immigration is, something that is decided, if you will, at the national level. We have our immigration laws in place and our laws for individuals seeking asylum. But in Arizona, this is a more important issue to us, maybe than people living in northern Michigan. Maybe they don't think about it as much as we do. I don't know. But Mexico is our friend and our neighbor. I have lived in Mexico, I would say, for all told, more than 2 years of my life. And so I have family on both sides of the border. And I know that we need to make sure that people who want to work in the United States are able to work here safely, as has gone on for many years, and are not treated with any indignities when what they're doing is coming to the United States legally to work. So we need to make sure that that flow is available. And while I'm not in support of like open borders, I don't even know exactly what that means. There is a border, but that we allow those who are seeking asylum from issues in their countries, that they are able to seek asylum and are treated with dignity and respect, and are allowed to be with those who they came with, and we don't ever have again the horrors that came about during the current administration towards people coming through our southern border. So if we want to change our immigration laws, then we'll need to do that legally. But if we're not going to do that, then we need to follow the laws that we've got, and that allows people to seek asylum and to be treated with dignity and respect. So let's put some resources towards making sure that we've got judges and the infrastructure to process people who are seeking asylum, and as well as our DACA recipients. Let's make sure that they are safe and that they have a pathway to citizenship. They've been working here, they have been living here, going to school, paying their taxes, being decent, law-abiding members of our society. Let's give them a pathway to citizenship.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us. I appreciate it, and good luck during the election.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.